next battle.
Governor.
May I help you, Mr. McRaith?
I have to admit, this is an unusual case.
Yes, but have you solved it?
I believe so. But the culprit was not responsible for the plague. At least not directly.
Have you found the witch or have you not?
Someone here has been dabbling in some dark magic. I have the name.
So? What are you waiting for?
Don't you want to hear the name?
I do not need to. The principle is what matters.
Not exactly. The name is Lamentation Haskell.
No, it can't be. My son is studious. Curious, too curious at times perhaps, but he does not have a bad bone in his heart.
He showed Caleb Watson a ritual. The cobbler used it and became possessed.
Even if true, it would only mean my son was exposed to corruption. It happened before. Bring me proof, Banisher. Find the real source of evil.
Since when has the governor required proof?
I'll get it. Mark me. I must find your son, Governor. Sooner rather than later.
His interests take him hither and thither. If he isn't here, he must be working on the outskirts. He's been sprucing up one of the abandoned houses there. I ordered them emptied when the sickness hit. Yeah. Take the gate key. Go there. See for yourself. You're wrong about him. You're wrong about my son. Needless to say that I count, of course, on your discretion.
So, you can see me. Aren't you full of surprises, young Master Haskell?
You may talk. A Banisher ghost. Amazing. How on God's earth did you find me? Never mind that. Thank the Lord you did. Thought I was going to grow old in here.
As hiding places go, the Void is quite the choice.
Yes, an amazing place. Or plane? World? The Araloo is not easily described, but it makes a fascinating study. Tell me, how did you get past the Guardian beneath the mill? Did you use a decoy?
We fought it. Don't change the subject.
You fought it? Of course you did. A good thing too. I was starting to think it was wise to me tricks. Oh, but I have so many questions.
This isn't a social call, kid. And we're the ones with the questions.
Oh. Of course.
From the looks of this place, you're knee-deep in research. What are you doing here exactly?
Searching for the origin of the Harrow's plague, of course. And I have a theory on the subject.
Of course you do. Go on then.
Now at first I believed the water poisoned, but my father sealed the well, and yet folk remained sick. They looked for witchcraft, a foolish, uneducated suspicion, yes, but with some truth concealed behind it. You see, the Araloo taints New Eden. Its influence leaches into the Harrows. The evidence is everywhere.
Can you prove that? Where's your evidence?
In New Eden, the threshold between our plane and this is thin. Even I, a novice, may reach the frontier and then go beyond. I also believe it happened before. Some years ago, New Eden was hit by another epidemic.
Yes, we learned of it in Fort Jericho.
I believe that first epidemic was caused by the porosity of the frontier between New Eden and the Araloo. Although, where theirs was an affliction of burning flesh, ours is a corruption of mind and spirit. And I believe I have found its source. There is a substance, a strange ooze. You may have noticed it. This, I believe, is the true source of the Harrow's poison. It carries a particular stink, on the scent of which I experience first confusion, then a loss of control over my limbs.
What do you expect to find at the source of the ooze?
To find a cure. The ooze seeps into our world, sickening us. I may be able to stop it. Unfortunately, I cannot reach the source. The Araloo is a formidable place. Tricky. A maze constantly evolving, changing, reshaping itself. The isthmus, for example. I found an oozing crack in the ground. The terrain then remade itself, and I can get to it no longer.
Perhaps we might be able to find a way through and take a look at that source.
Would you? That would be splendid. Would you mind taking notes?
You see ghosts. You stroll the void as if it were your garden. You possess and share forbidden rituals. Who are you really?
I'm Lammy Haskell, and I am a man of many sciences. I am in fact a true pursuer.
That raises more questions than it answers.
What are the pillars of the universe? Which principles underpin existence? As occultists, do we change the world or scratch upon its surface? Each discipline I embrace peels back a new layer of reality. I'm yet at the beginning, and see where I already stand. Amazing, no?
You did not find the void breach beneath the mill by accident. You had help. Who taught you?
I did my research.
Suddenly, you're a man of few words.
I'd rather not involve those not present. Discretion, you understand.
We find you up to your neck in the blackest magic, speechifying about your transcendent journey. Your life is on the line, Lammy.
We must counter the devil with knowledge of his tricks. That, my father always said, is the purest of God's work.
Aye. You can imagine your father saying that.
When I was 10, he gave me my initiation. Demonology, sir, as he would say. He saw me as his heir. Then, of a sudden, the books were forbidden. So I stole them, the very same books he'd forced upon me as a boy. I understand them where he does not. I did no wrong, apart from a little theft.
Let's go take a closer look at that ooze, then.
And with that sorrow gone, I can leave. Do be careful. My home is your home. If you need anything, help yourself.
The Araloo is not your home, Lammy. But thank you.
Mr. and Mrs. Gibbs, have you read my paper?
I read it, aye. And then I washed my hands and prayed for grace. You claim to prove that there is no curse. Well...
A witch would say that, wouldn't she?
Wherever people gather to live, disease takes hold, and I believe... What are you doing?
Your evil lies shall be destroyed. We know who you are, and you shall be judged. Witch!
That was Deborah. She built a case for her rationality, and they tore it apart.
This is God's land. How could we let a witch come to our community? Instructing our children, no less.
'Tis no surprise. New Eden brims over with backsliders. The governor, chief amongst them.
Aye, many had to sicken and die for him to act. But the deed is not yet done.
We must fight the Lord's good fight and cast the devil out for good. Many want to try the witch, aye, and many want to see her dead.
I sensed the vivid echo of a ghost's memory.
The devil still breathes through her mouth. We are cursed, and you are stolen.
Clemency, Antipas, please. The woman has been jailed. As per custom, she will face trial and justice will be brought to this community.
Coming from a magic user himself. But can you or your demonologist discernment really be trusted?
How dare you insinuate such blasphemy? I'm a man of faith.
Then do what God commands of you. Governor, we ask for safety. If we do not get it, there will be consequences.
Hold you. Non-support.
Oh, this can't be good.
Bring forward the accused.
Who are you?
Confess! Let them speak!
If we speak, so you listen?
Impudence! Provocation! Read the charges! Red rule in the grave. You have blood on your hands and weakness in your heart. Guilty! Sworn to vanquish evil. You conspired with witches.
Sworn to banish all ghosts. Instead, you embrace one.
The charges. Cowardice, oath-breaking, deception. The verdict. Guilty. The sentence. Pain hereafter.
Antea Duarte, you fraud, you cold-hearted deceiver, rise for the verdict. Alive, you banished parasite ghosts. But dead, you dare linger. Have you no shame? You indulge yourself. I sentence you to anger, to regret, and hence to oblivion. Thirty sons.
Banishers are guilty of poisoning the body politic. You portray yourselves as saviors sent to deliver us. But with your dark arts, the evil only worsens. Your witches! Witches must die! We have passed judgment. The guilty are known. Now justice is ours.
The Lord's promise of salvation from hell pleases them. The Lord's salvation from misery and sin here on earth does not.
This doesn't look like salvation from misery and sin.
The wicked pray for deliverance from the fires of hell, while piling the kindling high. They proclaim their love for their Lord, yet, in his name, they serve themselves. Their self-regard crumbles in the light of their hateful iniquities.
So true.
Mr. McRaith, my friend, I'm so glad you agree. Now, the wicked man never questions...
I have your answers.
What? Yes, good. Perhaps we should discuss this privately, if you'll give me just a moment.
It's quite the story. You might not wish to hear it. Neither may the good people here.
Please, this is not the time.
We want to hear the story. Let the Banishers speak.
Tell them, Red. Tell them good.
Aye. There's a story that starts with a question. A question for you, Governor. And maybe for all the good people of New Eden. If I give you a witch, will you do what you did to Deborah Comenius?
Comenius, say you? The school teacher walked with the devil and paid the appropriate price. That's the beginning of the history and also its end.
Is it, though? Now, I've learned much about Deborah Comenius and what happened to her, and it tells a very different tale.
And what story, pray you, does it tell?
It tells the story of a woman, a teacher, living peaceably among friends, until there came a plague. In fear, the good people went to their governor. "The devil walks among us," they said, "and you must save us, or we will find someone who will." This governor knew he could not save them, but he could give them a witch. The train band captain shackled the school teacher and locked her away. She would confess, or she would be judged.
Deborah Comenius was a witch, Mr. McRaith. She was the devil's tool, and worse, much worse.
You're a pompous coward, fearful of anyone different, as human as that is.
There must be a man to judge, or there is no order. A man to make the judgment, and a man to enforce it. Of all people, you know this.
I live and let live. I choose only for the dead.
I choose for the living. These people are sinners, sir, and must be led back to the light. This is my mandate, my duty.
Admit it. You toy with magic you don't understand.
You, sir, are jealous.
I, sir, am tired. I've done my job, fulfilled my contract, I've found the source of the curse. The poison below the well is no more, no thanks to you.
Aha! Poison it was, then. The weapon of the wicked, to weaken the people's will. What was it, belladonna, hemlock, foxglove?
Betrayal. Truth unspoken. Secrets and lies. Wrongs, basically. Your wrongs. The wrongs you visited upon Deborah Comenius. The wrongs that led to her death.
She died at the hand of the body politic. She died at all our hands. Most of all, she died at her own.
She died because she would not submit.
'Twas not my plan to kill her, stupid, stubborn woman. Why did she not confess? I would have granted clemency. I would have shown her mercy.
You say your flock forced your hand. For the greater good, you say, you indulged their bloodlust. I believe you did it. I don't believe your motive. You delighted in your magical witch hunt, your trivial rituals. You thought you'd be lauded for your humility and skill. But you have neither. Now all around you crumbles. Yet still you stake your claim as the rightful protector of the people of New Eden. I have found the culprit, the devil worshipper, the source of the evil that has befallen your community. Sorry, son.
You're having a laugh.
Can't be.
That don't.
My son, a witch? You mock us, sir. Present proof or retract your ridiculous accusation.
Now you need proof. For years, Lammy studied your precious library of the forbidden, but he outdid his father. He learned. 'Twas Lammy who taught Caleb Watson the dark ritual that brought his beloved wife back from the dead.
I was trying to help. I did nothing wrong.
No. Lord have mercy.
For shame.
The boy was always strange.
No. No, Lammy is a good boy. I won't have it.
Easy, Governor. Your son's intentions were sound, and his mistakes, grave as they were, did not poison the well.
Forgive me for swearing in the meeting house, but this is a blooming farce.
Have I ever failed you? In evil times, have we not endured? Have I not protected you?
Fooled by his own flesh. How could he be so blind?
Have faith. The Banisher has lifted the curse. Brighter days are here. I knew you were trouble. You and your lady. Look what you've done.
Don't push your luck, Haskell. I've given you a shot at redemption. It's more than you gave Deborah.
Damn you, Banisher. Paid in consideration of a curse lifted. All rights defended now and hereafter. I look forward to never seeing you again.
Don't count on it. The work's not done. So, what now?
What did Ceridian say when we first met her?
Once we'd weakened the Nightmare's influence, we could use the Void to enter its lair.
Deborah's grip on the settlers has diminished. We'll return to Ceridian's island. From there, the Void Breach will take us back to New Eden Town.
Just like that, eh?
Well, yes, just like that. Something bothering you?
But aren't we rushing things a little?
We've lost too much time already. We have a nightmare to confront, remember? Sometimes I hate the world. Another free woman, bright, sensitive, kind, murdered by a craven rabble too weak to face its own mediocrity. Cowards hiding behind fake virtue. And for what? They won't even say her name. Why? Why her?
They know no better. They know only fear and hate what they cannot understand.
Especially when a woman is involved.
It matters not now anyway.
A woman died for nothing and it matters not?
That's not what I meant. But the lassie is dead. All we can do now is try to give her her rest.
Perhaps she does not want to rest. When I left Cuba, anything could have befallen me. I was bright, free, talented. Though I had the wrong tongue, the wrong sex, the wrong skin. I defied life. I expected so much more from the world. I was arrogant. Arrogant to believe I needed no one. To shut out my mother and experience curandera, and listen instead to my sister.
Your childhood friend. What happened?
I had little and wanted more. A dangerous thing when you have our type of talent. Anything could have befallen me, but it didn't.
This has been hard for you. For me too. Perhaps we should think of how far we've come together and take heart.
I am dead, Rory. I am dead, and Suna will be gone for good.
You think I don't know this?
Don't make this about you, Red.
I wasn't. Look, all this, it's a lot to endure. We're both exhausted. I know I am.
I cannot tire.
I know. I know how hard it's been for you.
You have no idea. None at all.
I'll do my best to understand, if you'll let me. We should have faith. Look at us. We'll get to where we're going.
Shut up, Red. Shut up. This isn't about what we have conquered or what we have achieved or how far we have journeyed. Look at us. Look at me. I loathe what I've become. Can't you see that?
I was trying to help. I'm sorry.
Stop apologizing. Good night.
Antea. Antea? I would have gone with you. Not funny. I have to walk to the stupid bloody island. Whoa, easy there.
This'll only take a moment. See?
Well, throwing my weapons through your will is a little unsettling.
Spared by the Banishers, but his undoing complete. Mr. Fairfax Haskell must live with his sins. Their governor rode the pendulum from pinnacle to pit. The shaken faithful must turn once again to the Lord. This new quest for purity may end like the last, in injustice and misery. But to whom will they listen? Can they be stopped before it's too late?
What are you doing here? I don't believe it. You're back. Why?
Good day to you too, Thick-Skin. How do things stand since last I saw you?
Would it please you to hear all is well and you are the author of it? Well, all is not well, and yes, you are the author of it. Kate is gone.
Where? Why?
We had an argument. Harsh words were spoken. She left for the woods. I would have you bring her back. I don't have time to go chasing after her.
What makes you think I do?
You will do me this favour. After all, the situation is at least in part your fault.
My fault? If your bond with your sister is broken, I suggest you look closer to home.
All was well with us before you came, Banisher, and now it is not. Folk worry. I must settle them with Kate's return.
They still don't know what you did, do they?
She's probably gone to the hunting lodge she likes to spend time in, near the road to Boston. Find her, bring her to her senses, then send her back here. Send her home.
You know anything about Kate and a certain Grace?
That's a name I haven't heard in a long time. Why do you ask?
I found a letter, an old one, addressed to Grace, but mentioning Kate. It'd help to know who she is.
I can't help you, and if I could help you, I wouldn't. After all that has happened, Kate's tale is hers to tell, and hers alone.
But you admit you knew a Grace. I'm guessing she's from New Eden.
Ask Kate, for I'll say naught.
All right, then. One last question. Does the name Seeker mean anything to you?
Seeker, you say? Now this I can answer. I've never heard that name in my whole life.
Well then, I'll be leaving.